Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on CookieRunOvenBreak with Alzeroy and in this episode I'm going to show you my journey through the Grand Champions League Crowberry season. And we begin the journey in the preliminary round 2 because I tried to run it perfectly on the round 1, but sadly I wasn't being able to. I ended up crashing or falling just before the last bit, and yeah, it was quite unfortunate. So yeah, regardless of that, I still managed to get first place, and therefore that's why if you see right at the beginning, you will see that I have 8 hearts, and the only way that is possible is if I get first place on the first round, which I did. I did manage to score like 671 million points, although the best score was around 700 million or something. I don't exactly remember the amount of score, but regardless of that, I'm in round 1 I got first. There you go. That's the TLDR version of that. Anyway, here's the round 2 in the current Crowberry season of the Grand Champions League. When I played this map for the very first time, the very first thing that I thought was, hang on a second, I played this map before, and indeed I was right. This is because this is the same map in the current Crowberry season. Specifically, I think this happened in season 3 definitely, but I think it was in season 1 and 2 as well. So yeah, and I don't like this map actually, and the reason why is very simple. This map is full of RNGs, and I think this is the second best score that I ever put on this particular map. I scored 801 million points, as you can see right at the beginning of this video. As far as I'm aware, the very best score that I managed to put on this map was 805 million points, and even to this day I still have no idea how I managed to do that. And as far as I'm aware, the best score that I have ever seen is someone did this map is 816 million points. And yeah, I think there are people who can did 817 to 818 million points, but I have never seen that kind of video. And also this map requires a lot of RNG, and for example the strategy that I did just before I get that bonus time is actually wrong. Believe it or not, but that's like the consequence on having to run on a RNG based map. But to be fair though, getting 800 million points on this map is incredibly difficult, and while I know that I could try more and get better scores, I decided to gamble on this particular round and then decided to just not run on this map anymore and let the time run out. And luckily by the end of it, I'm still at first place. I think the second place gets like 799 million points. At least that was the final score in my group when I did this particular round. Anyway, I'm done narrating in this stage, and I'll see you at the next particular round, which is the preliminary rounds, round 3. Okay, that map is done. I am not doing that map again. It's just way too much RNG and the rage inducing of this map. Right, but now it's time to move on. Right, thankfully, for the next round, the preliminary round 3, it doesn't have any kind of RNG. All you need to do is to run the map absolutely perfectly, as I'm about to show you right here. And if you like this kind of content, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss out anything that I put on this channel. Everything is free, you don't need to pay, and by subscribing you make this channel grow and flourish even more, which makes me happy so I can create more contents for you to watch. And just like the previous map, when I played this map for the very first time, the very first thing that I was thinking to myself was, hang on a second, I've played this map before. And guess what? I was correct. This was the very last map, specifically the arena one, in the Crowberry season. This was a period, I think, since the start of season 4 all the way to the season 6, which is the last season in Crowberry Grand Championship League before we go to the actual Grand Champions League. So yeah, thanks to the experience of me running through this map, I managed to get it absolutely perfectly. Right, with that out of the way, it's time for me to stop this narrating, and I'll see you right as we go into the actual round, the main round 1. There you go, that's the name of it. So that is how I managed to get 746 million points. In GCL, this will probably be L+, and I managed to get into at least the top 1%. Right, so first main round, I ended up at second place, unfortunately, but thankfully, I still kept all 8 hearts, so nothing to worry about. I still have no idea how in the world the first place managed to get 835 million points, whereas here I am second place and I've got 825 million points. So I have no idea how that gap is so massive. If anyone managed to figure that out, then comment down below, because I still have no idea to this very day. It could be based on the magic candy power, or even I collect less rainbow bear jellies compared to the first place person. Or maybe there is some other tricks that I have no idea how to do it, yet the first place managed to do it perfectly. And yeah, just tell me in the comments down below. I'm still curious about that answer. Or maybe did I use the wrong treasure or something like that? It could be possible though. So yeah, that's it for me narrating this part of the video, at least for now, because everything I did for the rest of this particular run is absolutely perfectly, so there is no tricks sort of like that. So yeah, I'll see you on the round 2 of the main round. That's quite a bit of a mouthful. Right, that is how I managed to get the 825 million points. But you know what? Let's move on and let's recapture that first place back. Luckily, the next round I did manage to recapture first place, but simply because the stage, this particular stage, is absolutely a living hell. I tried this stage so many times. I don't think I've tried so hard for a stage before. It is that frustration feeling when you saw a stage and you thought, yeah, I could do this absolutely perfectly, and then you try it and it just doesn't, and you try it even more and it just doesn't happen. It's that frustration feeling of, yeah, I know I can do it, but then once you try it, you just don't do it perfectly, and you try it even more, but that perfect result it just doesn't come. And no matter how much did you try, those perfect moments, it just doesn't happen. And that is the exact same feeling once I completed this round. Sure, I might be the only one in the entire group who managed to get past 1 billion points and even succeeded to pass through that 1 billion point barrier, but I've seen the results in other groups where there are other people who can do this stage a lot better than I can. So yeah, in some way I do feel quite lucky about recapturing this first place in this particular round. Anyway, that's it for me, at least the narration part of it, and I'll see you at the next round, which, trust me, it's a lot better than whatever I put in this particular round. Well, there you go. That's the best result that I ever achieved on that particular run. 1.1 billion points at the time when the top players managed to get 1.2 billion points, which is, yeah, it's not good. Right, the third round in the main round and the final one. When I played this stage for the very first time, I thought to myself, this is the stage that I will lose my heart so much because this is a destruction-based map. And I'm not very good at destruction-based map because a destruction-based map relies mostly on skills. So it was a surprise for me when I found out that I actually gained first place on this particular map. And if I remember correctly, in this map, top players managed to get into the 900 million points barrier. And I think the reason why is because the top players managed to get the correct magic candy bonus for Night Cookie here, and as well as destroying more obstacles. Other than that, then I have simply no idea. Well, probably apart from technical license challenge, because I haven't completed the technical license 11, 12 and 13. And if I'm not mistaken, one of them actually give more boost into destruction points in when you destroy obstacles, of course. Anyway, that's it for me narrating this part of this video. I will see you on the next round, where I, for the very first time, managed to go into the semi-finals. And with that run, I finally, for the very first time ever in my career as a cookie runner, I managed to go into the semi-finals. I never thought this was possible. Semi-finals, here I come. So finally, here I am, semifinals. I never thought that I achieved this kind of level before. And at this point, I should explain that I don't have the max level in terms of the legendary treasure, which is the legendary meteor one, the blue one. So I have no options but to use the max ticket. Good news is, at the time when I did this run, I have around 17 to 18 tickets of max tickets, which is a good thing to be able to have the exact same level as the top players. But the downside is, I can only match the level as the top players for 17 times. So when I use one ticket, regardless if I crash or fall, that counts as a run. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. So in other words, I have to use this max ticket as careful as possible. And for this particular round, I think I did quite well. Sure, I didn't get the best score possible. I think the top players managed to get 750 million points, whereas in this particular run that I did, which is the very best that I could produce, I only managed to get 731 million points. And in my group, that puts me in third place, but unfortunately I lost one of the blue hearts that the game provides me in this particular Grand Championship League. And oh yes, this is a brand new feature that I didn't talk about until like the 27th minute of this video. So yeah, blue hearts. So Devsisters decided that in order to give the solution to a situation where the player is out of the Grand Champions League competition simply because the player doesn't have the required cookie level or pet level or treasure level, or in the worst case possible scenario, you lost because the other player just plays better than you and scores better than you. And also due to the fact that in the earlier version of the Grand Championship League, you can only play each round once. So if that ever happens, then it's just too bad. You simply lost the entire Grand Championship League run and your run is basically dead. So to get around this, Devsisters decided to introduce this brand new blue heart system, in which that you can still continue your run in the Grand Champions League regardless if you, let's say, you didn't make it all the way into top 3 or top 5. The game will still let you continue, albeit there's a cost, which is your blue hearts will get reduced. So it's a very important thing that you get the blue hearts as many as possible, just like I did. And that is why when I start this Grand Champions League, my goal is to get as many hearts as possible, and the maximum amount that you can get is 8. And once you get 8 hearts, it is imperative for you to defend it as much as possible. The same thing can be said if you have 6 or 7 hearts. If that is the case, then you should have enough to make it all the way into the main rounds. However, if you got only 5 stars, then the struggle to keep those hearts begin right after you entered the main rounds basically. Because unlike the situation if you have 6, 7 or even 8 hearts, the struggle to being first place is basically real right after you enter the main rounds. Because the only way to maintain the 5 hearts is to keep winning basically on the main rounds. But yeah, semifinals is the place where you lose your blue hearts. And the only way to keep your blue hearts in semifinals is to literally win the round. You cannot be in second place anymore, unlike in the main rounds where even if you got second, just like I did in the main round 1, I can still cap my blue hearts at 8, unlike in semifinals where, yeah. And also shout out to the first place person at the group 2551. You have an unbelievable fighting spirit because you only have 1 health left and you somehow win this particular round. Also, I can't quite figure it out, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen this map somewhere. If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong on this one, that I've seen this map on one of the Champions League rounds. I'm pretty sure it's during Crowberry, or either that it's Hydrangea, because Hydrangea season is the very first Grand Champions League to exist after such a long period of break. So this particular run is the best run that I ever did on the semi-finals round 2, and I got 722 million points of it. Top players managed to get 728 to 730 simply because there is a trick in regards to Rebel Cookie, which is the second cookie that I'm going to use in this particular run. And for the life of me, to this very day, I still have no idea how the trick actually works. I know the trick in Scorpion Cookie, but I didn't know the trick in Rebel Cookie. So this is the reason why I only managed to get 722 million points instead of like 725 or even 728, just like the top players of this game. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit where I need to explain how the Scorpion Cookies trick works. Right, at this moment, I'm going to do the trick on Scorpion Cookie. So I just released one of those poison 2. Now I have to collect all of these stars in here and hold the potions until I find another obstacles. And there you go, I find another obstacles. I throw even more poison darts. I throw even more poison darts, and I have one left. And there you go. Now I have to hold the sprint button until the last bits of health is about to vanish, and there you go. Now this should give me the time for the pet to give me more potions, and now I'm back in 5. Now I have to throw every single dart before the health runs out, and then I can get a sprint just like this one. And there you go. This is the Scorpion trick in this particular semi-final round. And if anyone wanted to explain how the Rebel Cookies trap works, then please comment in the comment section down below, because for the life of me, throughout this entire semi-final round, I couldn't make it work. Anyway, I'll see you in the next round, which is the semi-final round 3. Right, the semi-final, final round, round 3. And oh my god, when I play this round for the very first time, I take a look at the leaderboards, and it turns out that I have to fight against 58 other competitors. Unlike the previous ones where I only need to fight, let's say, probably 10 or even 20 people. Now I have to fight with 58 people. But at the time, I wasn't really worried that much because, yeah, sure, I've lost like 2 blue hearts at this point, and I still have 6 of them, so I was quite not that particularly worried. Even if I lost 3 hearts, I still have 3 hearts left. And to explain why I'm not properly concerned at that point, I have to explain how the update works basically. This was like introduced 2 days before the actual update comes alive and into the game. So when Devsisters announced that the Grand Championship League will have this blue heart system, they mentioned that the new blue heart system will not be counted if the player manages to get into the finals. And I was thinking to myself, yes, this will be a very tough battle going all the way into 5th place just to minimize the loss of 1 blue heart, let alone winning this entire round in this very competitive group. But even that is about to happen, I still have 3 hearts, and I am going into the finals no matter what happens. And when that happens, the game will lock the amount of heart that I have, and the results of the first, second, and the final round in the finals will count if I am the world champion or not. Obviously, I know that I am not going to be the champion simply because in the final round, in the finals, I need to have Sugar Swan Cookies Magic Candy. The only problem is I do not have Sugar Swan Magic Candy, so I cannot compete in the same level as the top player does. Even if I decided to use all the max tickets, I will still not be able to compete in the same level as them. That is because the max ticket only max out the cookies, the pets, and the treasures, but not the magic candy. And I cannot simply bought the microtransaction, the package in for the Sugar Swan Magic Candy because it has been all sold out. I cannot buy it right now on the payment shop, and even if that item is still being sold on the payment shop, I still need to buy 3 more times, and those things ain't cheap. Sure, I will lose at the final round in the finals, but that doesn't mean I could not run in the finals round 1 and finals round 2. And besides, you might have noticed on my short videos that I posted a couple of days ago, and this was like the part of the video that I'm going to show it to you, and this was taken during New Year's Day. So 31st of December, while I'm away at a friend's house to celebrate New Year, I was still doing the Grand Championship League. I was still doing the Grand Champions competition. Sure, you might have noticed at the beginning of the run, I still have 2 hours left before the time has come to an end. But thankfully, I did not need to worry about my ranking because when the time is over, at I think it was like 8 o'clock in the night, I'm still at 14th place, which means the leaderboards didn't change. But you know what else does change? It's the simple fact that I will lose 3 of my blue hearts. And yeah, this part right here is incredibly difficult, and 80% of my run in this particular round ends because I just hit one of those bullets. And coming right up is basically the most heartbreaking part in this entire round. I was supposed to fall through that hole and use the magic candy power that I have, which was the rescue from hole twice. But sadly that didn't happen, and I was supposed to gather my recordings in this particular final round. Yes, I did manage to get my way into the final round. Hooray! But then when I wake up after the New Year's party, I just realized that the game still counts the hearts. Which means that I only have 3 blue hearts left, and thanks to the finals, I lost the remaining 3 blue hearts. And what's worse is that I could not gather my rank place for the final time, which is such a shame, and what an anticlimactic way to end this particular video. And also, what an anticlimactic way to end my run at the Grand Champions League Crowberry season. Well, to be fair, there were like 236 competitors, so I didn't stand a chance against the best players in this particular game. But regardless of that, I'm still happy that I could make it all the way into the finals, and it is something that I thought when I played this game for the very first time since I woke up from that break in 2021. I thought this was an impossible, a pipe dream, but here I am, being able to compete against the best players in this game. and I do hope that I could see myself stepping into the finals for the very second time, assuming that Devsisters didn't change how the Grand Champions League works, that is. And two more things before I close this video is obviously the first one is the heartbreak. The remaining 3 blue hearts that I have, all of them gone, and there you go, I'm eliminated from this competition. And I still couldn't manage to get my replays to show you to hear. Oh my god, Devsisters, please fix this. So yeah, if I know that I will lose all 3 hearts in the final part of the the finals in the Grand Champions League, I will certainly fight much harder in the semi-finals round 3. But yeah, that's my journey in the Grand Champions League Crowberry season. And yeah, I'm currently spectating other competitors, and if I will say which rounds in the finals that make me eliminated from this competition, most likely it is going to be this one. So as you know, destruction based stage takes a lot of skills, and especially with Rebel and Scorpion Cookie, as you might see in the semi-finals round 2. And my god, look at the number of competitors, 286. This is worse than the finals round 1, which is like 259 competitors, and not all of them are competing. I mean, in my group there were like 206 people competing instead of all 259 people. And last but not least, shout out to Gojek Vanes, who not only wins the entire competition in the Grand Champions League Crowberry season, but also the very first Indonesian player who won the Grand Champions League 3 times. He is for certain the greatest player that we have in the entire Indonesian community who play this game. And just before I end this video, something actually popped up in my mind, and that is something related to all cookie runners out there. So how do you do in the current Grand Champions League season, in the Crowberry season? Obviously, by the time you watch this video, the Championship League is basically over at this point. And so, did you make it all the way into the finals, or did you manage to find yourself got eliminated in the main rounds? So tell me your experience in the comment section down below. I would love to hear it from you guys. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm Alzeroy signing it off, and I'll see you on the next video where I'm finally going to do the updated run on the Fragrant Lotus Paradise. And thank you for watching if you watched this thing from the very beginning.